Hi, welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today because today is a very, very special day to me, and I'm glad that you're here to share it with me. So let's get started. Tell you what, I want to get you to try being creative on canvas, just to take your time and sit down, have nothing in mind when you start. Just have a good feeling and be happy and in love with life and your world, and sit down and begin playing. Okay, now I'm going to wash the old brush. And as you know, we wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake off the excess, just beat the devil out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a super little painting. It'll teach you a great deal. And I want to thank you once again for sharing today with me, because this was a very special day. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for day number 2 of the Tigerettes Cowgirls Volleyball Tournament, live here from Roy Cow Gymnasium at Tigerettes High School. Today is Pool B, which consists of Tigerettes, Brackett, Lakey, and Centerpoint. In Pool A, the winner was Harper, winning all 3 of their games yesterday, followed by Utopia, going 2-1 on the day, and Poteet went 1-2, and 7-Out JV went 0-3. Once again, good morning here on this Friday the 13th for day number 2 of this Tigerettes Cowgirl Volleyball Tournament. Opening game and home opener for the Cowgirls as they won their season opener at Medina 3-0, which was on Tuesday night. This is their home opener on their refurbished floor, as they will host and face the Brackett Tigerettes in game number 1. There's the schedule for today. Once again, Pool B, Tigerettes, Brackett, Lakey, Centerpoint. Cowgirls and Brackett facing off at 9 a.m. Centerpoint and Lakey at 10 o'clock. And the Cowgirls will face Lakey at 11 a.m. At noon, Brackett versus Centerpoint. And the Cowgirls' final game of the day will be at 1 p.m. versus Centerpoint. And the last game of the day will be Brackett versus Centerpoint. Once again, this is day number 2 of the Tigerettes Cowgirl Volleyball Tournament. In pool play, all matches are 2 out of 3 to 25 and a cap at 30. And the pool play matches seed you for bracket play on Saturday. All bracket matches will be 2 out of 3. And the teams will be seeded from record from pool play, head-to-head record, and points scored against you. I'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors: Primo Processing, Hondo National Bank, Medina Electric Co-op, Triple Burrow Show Pigs, 90s Taco Store, R Networks, and Main Street Mercantile. We're going to let them do a little bit of talking. You're watching Tigerettes Cowgirl Volleyball.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Primo Processing, located in Hondo, Texas, strives to find the finest, best prime meats and wild game available in the market. We care for all of our customers and maintain the strictest quality standards. Food brings us all together, and we want everyone to experience this feeling of togetherness over our delicious food. Come by our store or order online and have your food delivered straight to your door. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and closed on Sundays. Located on Highway 90 on County Road 432 in Hondo, Texas. We pride ourselves in great customer service. We offer quality prime beef, Wagyu beef, fajitas, parisa, year-round wild game processing, guaranteed return of your meat, ranch pickup service, and gift baskets. Here at Primo Processing in Hondo, Texas. Welcome back to Roy Cow Gymnasium for day number 2 of the Hennis Cowgirl Volleyball Tournament. Looks like they're going to try to get things started pretty quickly here. I'd like to introduce your Hennis Cowgirls under head coach Christina Finger. Number 2, Mabry Herman. Number 3, Jolie Frosch. Number 4, Jessa Frosch. Number 5, Kylie Thompson. Number 7, Sydney Reyes. Number 8, Peyton Burrow. Number 9, Maddie Barrios. Number 10, Addie Harkins. Number 11, Tori Johnson. Number 13, Brighton Beard. And number 14, Tony Burrow. As we get ready to get started here. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors. Medina Co-op, Hondo National Bank, Primo's Processing, Our Networks, Main Street Mercantile, and Triple Burrow Show Pigs. On the front for your Cowgirls. Number 8, Peyton Burrow. Number 5, Kylie Thompson. Number 14, Tony Burrow. And today's libero, number 10, Addie Harkins. And in the back row, number 13, Brighton Beard. Number 11, Tori Johnson. And number 4, Jessa Frosch. As the referee make sure that everybody is in their correct position to start the game. Once again, we're back here for year number 2 of streaming the Hennis Cowboys and Cowgirls live events. As Addie Harkins will check into the ball game for Brighton Beard as the libero. Cowgirls will be back in action at 11 o'clock and at 1 p.m. And starting the ball game, serving for the Cowgirls is number 4, Jessa Frosch. Nice serve by Frosch. Set up and hit over, and it's going to go out. And a point for the Cowgirls to start off the ball game. Once again, tournament play is 2 out of 3. So Jessa Frosch serving for the Cowgirls. Serve is over. Dug up, set up, and hit outside. And little miscommunication there between the Cowgirls leads to a Tigerette point. And we're all tied up at 1 here very early in the ball game. Once again, Pool B is the Hennis, Brackett, Lakey, and Centerpoint. This is game number 1. As we will be here to cover the Cowgirls. Tori Johnson with the dig leads to a Tigerette point. 2-1 Brackett. Once again, very early here in the ball game. Bright and early here in the morning, Friday the 13th. Serve is over, dug up by Harkins. And number 10 is there to tap it in for the Tigerettes. Brackett with a 3-1 lead. Cowgirls won their season opener 3-0 at Medina. Burrow, Frosch to Thompson. And they're going to say it's out. 4-1 Brackett. In the front for the Cowgirls, Kylie Thompson, Jessa Frosch, Tony Burrow in the back row, Peyton Burrow, Addie Harkins, and Tori Johnson. Dug up by Harkins. Set up by Frosch to Burrow. Great dig by Tony Burrow. And they set her up on the outside and off the fingertips. So 4-2 Brackett. With Tony Burrow. Set to serve for the Cowgirls as Brighton Beard checks in for Addie Harkins. Referee making sure that correct substitution is in, and we're good to go. Tony Burrow with the serve. Bumped. And into the net for a Cowgirl point. Lead cut down to 1, 4-3 Brackett. Burrow with the serve. And they're going to say they were out of rotation, so point for the Cowgirls. We're all tied up at 4. So Tony Burrow serving for the Cowgirls. Over, bumped up, set up, a middle attack. Frosch. Thompson pushes it over. Johnson. Frosch to Burrow. And just hit a little too strong, and it's going to be out. So point for the Tigerettes. 5-4 Brackett with the lead as Addie Harkins checks back in for Tony Burrow. Ball's over, dug up by Johnson. Frosch sets it up outside for Brighton Beard and it's hit into the net. Point for the Tigerettes. Beard. Frosch sets it up for Burrow off her fingertip. Point for Brackett. 7-4 Tigerettes over the Cowgirls here in the first set. Ball served over. Johnson. Frosch. And a back row from Harkins. Sends it over. And it's going to be out as it just misses the line. Point for the Cowgirls. 7-5. Tigerettes lead. As number 9, Maddie Badios will check in for Tori Johnson. So in the front, Brighton Beard, Peyton Burrow, Maddie Badios, Jessa Frosch, Addie Harkins, and now serving number 5, Kylie Thompson. Badios. Frosch with the bump set up outside for Burrow. And into the net, point for the Cowgirls. 7-6 Tigerette lead. As Kylie Thompson serves for the Cowgirls. And the point for the Cowgirls. We're all tied up once again here at 7. Thompson with the serve. Dug up. Set up. Play at the net. Tip by Badios. Hit. Frosch sets it up for Peyton Burrow. And they're going to say it's out. So 8-7 lead for Brackett. Serves over. Dug up by Thompson and Frosch. They're going to say that she was on the net. So point for Brackett. 9-7 lead for the Tigerettes. Maddie Barrios, Jessa Frosch, Brighton Beard in the front row. In the back row, Peyton Burrow, Kylie Thompson, and Addie Harkins for the Cowgirls. Ball's hit over. They're going to say rotation. Point for the Tigerettes. 10-7 lead. As the referee explains to them. Maybe the referee is confused, so they're going to see if little confusion here. Referees trying to explain to Coach Christina Finger. Here early in the first set, Brackett Tigerettes with the 10-7 lead over the Cowgirls. So now that everything is corrected, they're going to go ahead and replay that. So the lead goes back 9-7. Thompson, and a nice effort by Burrow as she tried to save it. So the point is now back to 10-7. Served by the Tigerettes. Burrow sends it over for a point for the Cowgirls. 10-8 lead for Brackett as Peyton Burrow set to serve for the Hennis. Burrow with the jump serve, sends it over. Middle attack to Peyton. Frosch outside to Barrios. Point for Brackett. 11-8 lead for the Brackett Tigerettes. Here in set number 1. Ball's over. Thompson. Frosch to Maddie Barrios. And it's going to land in. Tony Burrow checks into the ballgame for Brighton Beard. So Burrow, Frosch, Barrios in the front row, Thompson, Burrow, and Harkins in the back. And there's a tip right over a couple of Cowgirls. 12-9 lead for Brackett. Ball set and over, dug up by Burrow. Frosch sets it up for Tony Burrow. Outside and lands in between two Tigerettes for a point for the Hennis Cowgirls. 12-10 lead here in the first set. So now serving for the Cowgirls is number 9, Maddie Barrios. Ball's hit over, dug up by Libero, bumped up, and hit into the net. Barrios with the serve, and it's going to be an ace. So we're all tied up at 12. Kylie Thompson, Tony Burrow, Jessa Frosch in the front row. In the back, Peyton Burrow, Addie Harkins, and Maddie Barrios. Thompson, Frosch with the bump, and Harkins sends it over. Barrios, Frosch, Harkins. Burrow. Frosch sets it up in the middle for Thompson. And it's going to be in for a point for the Cowgirls. And the Cowgirls take the lead 13-12 here in set number 1. So Maddie Barrios serving for the Cowgirls. Sends it over. And a point for DeHennis. 2-point lead for the Cowgirls, 14-12. Once again here in set number 1. Bumped up, set up. Frosch. Thompson pushes it over. And a play at the net off the fingertips of Jessa Frosch. Little confusion there between the referee and the. They're going to give the point to the Cowgirls. Say off the Brackett defender. So 15-12. DeHennis with Barrios serving. Dug up, set up, hit into the net. And DeHennis with the 4-point lead here in set number 1, 16-12 over Brackett. Maddie Barrios still serving for the Cowgirls. Great save. Played over. Free ball to Barrios. Frosch tips it. And they're going to say she was on the net. 16-13 DeHennis. Tori Johnson checking back in for Maddie Barrios. So Kylie Thompson, Tony Burrow, and Jessa Frosch in the front row. Peyton Burrow, Addie Harkins, the libero, and Tori Johnson in the back row. And into the net. 17-13 DeHennis. As Jessa Frosch will serve for the Cowgirls. Nice jump serve by Frosch. Dug up, bumped up, and hit from the middle to the back row to Harkins. Burrow with the outside hit off the top of the net. Point for the Tigerettes. 17-14 Cowgirls lead. Set number 1. Serve from Brackett to Harkins. Frosch set up outside for Burrow. Harkins. Going to say someone's elbow was on the net. Point for Brackett. 2-point lead for DeHennis. Ball served over. Dug up by Johnson. Frosch sets it up for Harkins in the back row. And off of Addie Harkins. And she made a diving effort. 17-16. Cowgirls lead. Ball's over. Dug up by Peyton. Frosch sets it up to Burrow. Tips it over. And a point for the Cowgirls. 2-point lead for DeHennis. So now serving for the Cowgirls is number 14, Tony Burrow, as the libero, Addie Harkins, checks out. Brighton Beard checks into the ballgame. Thompson, Burrow, and Beard in the front row. In the back, Frosch, Johnson, and serving Tony Burrow. 18-16 lead here for the Cowgirls in set number 1. And once again, the referee is checking the Cowgirls lineup. Once again, we'd like to take this time out to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Medina Co-op, Hondo National Bank, Primos Processing, R Networks, Main Street Mercantile, and Triple Burrow Show Pigs. Burrow with the serve, dug up, set up, and a middle attack, and they're going to say she was on the net. So it's going to be a point for the Cowgirls. 3-point lead for the Cowgirls here in set number 1. Tournament games are the best 2 out of 3. Pool play. Burrow dug up and into the net. 4-point lead for the Cowgirls. Tony Burrow serving for DeHennis. Ball's hit over, dug up. Great dig by Tony Burrow. Thompson and Peyton sends it over. Free ball to Burrow. Frosch outside to Beard. Frosch. Johnson bumps it up for Tony Burrow. It rolls off the top of the net. Johnson. Frosch sets it up for Thompson in the middle. And point forward to Hennis. 5-point lead for the Cowgirls. 21-16 in set number 1. Served by Burrow. Dug up and into the net. Point forward to Hennis. Tony Burrow serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's hitting over. Little attack sends it over to Frosch. Johnson with the bump set up for Peyton Burrow, who hits it over. Tipped over to Frosch. Johnson to Peyton. And hit into the net. Cowgirls with a 7-point lead. Once again in the front row, Brighton Beard, Peyton Burrow, Kylie Thompson. In the back row, Jessa Frosch, Tori Johnson, and serving for the Cowgirls, Tony Burrow. Burrow with the serve. Set up in the middle, tipped over, and lands in between all the Cowgirls. 6-point lead for DeHennis. 23-17 here in set number 1. Ball's hitting over. Johnson. Frosch. Free ball sent over by Burrow. Set up and hit in the outside. Johnson. Frosch to Burrow. Uses her left hand to send it over. Harkins. Frosch sets it up in the middle for Thompson and into the net. Ball's hitting over, dug up by Harkins. Frosch tips it over. And in between the Cowgirls, a point for Brackett. 4-point lead. As the Cowgirls' 7-point lead evaporated. Ball's hit, dug up by Beard. Harkins, Frosch, Thompson. Nice save by Thompson. Sent over by Burrow. Free ball sent over to Harkins. Frosch sets it up outside for Peyton Burrow and hit into the net. Hit over, dug up by Johnson. Frosch sets it up outside and way outside, so it's off. 2-point lead for the Cowgirls. Here in set number 1. Johnson, Harkins. Beard sends a free ball over. And point for DeHennis. Cowgirls 1 point away from winning set number 1 here. Maddie Barrios checks in for Tori Johnson as she make her way to the front row as Kylie Thompson will be serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's hits and over, and it's going to land in, and the Cowgirls are to win game number 1 over Brackett, 25-21. And we're going to let our sponsors do a little bit of talking. You're watching Cowgirl Volleyball. We'll be right back.
Our Networks Internet is your hometown internet provider.
Joe and Shannon Arnett started our networks in 2012 when they saw a need for faster internet service in our rural area. Our networks currently covers from Hondo to Uvalde, Batesville to Chalk Bluff, and Concan as well as surrounding areas. Our networks offers residential and commercial internet connections, indoor and outdoor Wi-Fi, VoIP, and other internet-related services. All of our internet plans offer unlimited data, and we never put you in a contract. We're here to help you with all your Wi-Fi needs. Give us a call at 830-580-3278 to see if we can serve you, and let us tell you about all the great services we have to offer. We are local, so we take pride in supporting and giving back to the youth in the communities we serve. And because we are local, when you give us a call, you'll speak with someone from our office and receive our fanatical customer service. Our office is located at 9784 Highway 90 West between D'Hanis and Sabinal. Stop by anytime or check us out on the web, artnetworks.net, and on Facebook. The Hondo National Bank. During these crazy times we're going through, it is comforting to know that at the Hondo National Bank, you have options to help make your life easier. Options like mobile deposit, online banking, and online bill pay. And all these things can be done by using the Hondo National Bank app on your mobile device. At the Hondo National Bank, we strive to bring you the latest technology to make your life easier. The Hondo National Bank, your friend, your neighbor, your banker. Member FDIC.
We like to describe Main Street Mercantile as a little piece of heaven with a wild streak. We started with the dream to bring a fabulous and unique gift selection to our small town and rural community. We have trendy clothing, home decor, accessories, and so much more. We are a destination worth the trip. Just ask anybody who's been here. Located on Highway 90 just outside of Hondo, stop in today to your new favorite store.
And once again, welcome back. We'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors once again. Primo Processing, Hondo National Bank, Medina Electric Co-op, Triple Borough Show Pigs, 90s Taco Store, our networks, and Main Street Mercantile, as we are here live from Roy Cow Gymnasium for today's D'Hanis Cowgirls Volleyball Tournament. Getting ready for set number 2 as the Cowgirls won set number 1, 25-21. This is Pool B. That consists of D'Hanis, Brackett, Lakey, and Centerpoint. Cowgirls will be back in action at 11 o'clock versus Lakey and at 1 p.m. versus Centerpoint. Pool play games are 2 out of 3. And on the court for the Cowgirls, in the front row, Kylie Thompson, Tony Burrow, Jessa Frosch. In the back row, Tori Johnson, Dilla Burrow, Addie Harkins, and Peyton Burrow. Set number 2 is underway. Harkins with the dig. Frosch sets it up outside for Thompson. Sent over. Free ball sent over. Frosch. Harkins sets it up outside for Tony Burrow. And they're going to say point for the Cowgirls. So set number 2. Cowgirls get on the board first. Number 4, Jessa Frosch serving for the Cowgirls. Nice jump serve. Free ball sent over to Johnson. Frosch sets it up in the middle for Thompson. Sends it, and they're gonna say it's out. And they're saying that it hit the line. And now they're going to have a communication with the line judges. And they're going to award the point to the Cowgirls. And they're going to say Kylie Thompson painted that line. So Cowgirls with a 2-0 lead here as Frosch serves. And off the fingertips of a Tigerette. 3-0 lead for DeHennis here in set number 2. Cowgirls won set number 1, 25-21. Frosch with the serve. And once again, hit out. 4-0 lead to DeHennis. And in the front row, Peyton Burrow, Kylie Thompson, Tony Burrow, Johnson, Harkins, and Frosch in the back. And Thompson, the great play at the net, sends it over. Free ball sent over to Harkins, Frosch, Thompson. And they're going to say she was on the net. So, well, actually, I thought they said she was on the net, but it's a point for the Cowgirls, so 5-0 lead for DeHennis. Frosch with the serve. And out of bounds. So Frosch starts the ball game. Starts the second set for the Cowgirls with 5 points. So 5-1 lead for DeHennis over the Brackett Tigerettes here in set number 2. Ball's over. Thompson. Johnson. Back to Kylie Thompson, who sends it over from the middle. Outside attack, Harkins. Frosch sets it up for Burrow. And a nice hard hit by Burrow. And it's going to be out. Point for DeHennis. 6-1 lead for the Cowgirls. Set number 2. Cowgirls won first set 25-21. Tournament play is the best 2 out of 3. Brighton Beard checks into the ballgame for Addie Harkins. Tony Burrow with the serve. Great dig by Johnson. Frosch. Back to Johnson, who sends a free ball over. Tipped over. Johnson. Frosch. Thompson. And she paints the corner, but they're not going to award it to her. They're going to say it was out. So 6-2 lead for DeHennis. Harkins checks back in for Tony Burrow. So Peyton Burrow, Jessa Frosch, Kylie Thompson in the front, Addie Harkins, Tori Johnson, and Brighton Beard in the back row for the Cowgirls. 6-2 lead for Brackett. 6-2 lead for the Cowgirls. Ball's hit over. Beard. Frosch sets it up for Brighton on the outside. Sends it over. Free ball sent over to Harkins. Frosch sets up Peyton Burrow on the outside. Blocked at the net and lands in for the Cowgirls. Harkins. Frosch. Thompson tips it over. And out of bounds, point for the Cowgirls. 7-2 lead for DeHennis here in set number 2. And checking into the ballgame is number 7, Sydney Reyes for Tori Johnson. So Sydney will check into the front row to join Beard and Burrow. And Kylie Thompson serving for the Cowgirls. And a point for the Cowgirls. 8-2 lead to DeHennis as Reyes, Beard, and Burrow in the front. Frosch and the libero, Addie Harkins, in the back row joining Kylie Thompson as she's serving for the Cowgirls. Ball sent over. And a point for the Cowgirls. Once again, 9-2 lead for DeHennis. Kylie Thompson with the serve. Outside attack. And out of bounds. 10-2 lead. 8-point lead for the Cowgirls. Thompson with the serve. Dug up, set up on the outside. Sent over to Harkins. Frosch sets it up for Beard. Thompson. Frosch outside for Peyton Burrow. And out of bounds. 10-3 lead for the Cowgirls. Set number 2. DeHennis won set number 1, 25-21. Cowgirls will be back in action at 11 o'clock versus Lakey, and at 1 p.m. versus Center Point. Beard sends it over. Outside hit to Burrow. Reyes with a great save, and Beard hits it over. And into the net, point for the Cowgirls. So heading to serve is number 8, Peyton Burrow, with Frosch, Reyes, and Beard in the front row. Thompson, Harkins in the back. Burrow with the serve. And off the fingertips of a Tigerette, point for the Cowgirls. 12-3 lead here for DeHennis. Burrow with a nice hard serve. Miscommunication there. Frosch to Reyes and hit into the net. Point for the Tigerettes. 12-4 lead for DeHennis. Once again, Reyes, Frosch, Beard in the front. Burrow, Thompson, and Harkins in the back row. Thompson. Frosch sets up Reyes on the outside, and Harkins going to call her off and send it over. And hit into the net. Point for DeHennis. 13-4 lead in set number 2. As the Cowgirls won set number 1, 25-21. This is day 2 of the DeHennis Cowgirl Volleyball Tournament, as Tony Burrow checks back into the ballgame for Addie Harkins. And Brighton Beard with the serve for the Cowgirls. Free ball sent over to Beard. Frosch sets up Reyes, who hits it into the net. Point for Brackett. 13-5 lead as Harkins checks into the ballgame for Brighton Beard. Ball served and off the top of the net. It lands for the Cowgirls. 14-5 lead to Hennis. Tori Johnson checks back in for Sydney Reyes. And Johnson will serve. Ball's hit over. And a point for the Cowgirls. 10-point lead for DeHennis here in set number 2. Tori Johnson with the serve. Hit over. Burrow. Johnson. Thompson pushes it over. And it's going to be, they're going to say it was off of Johnson's elbow. So point for Brackett. 15-6. DeHennis with the lead. Ball's hit over. Burrow. Frosch sends it over and out. Point for Brackett. 8-point lead for the Cowgirls here. Johnson. Thompson. Frosch sends it over. Free ball sent over to Harkins. Frosch sets it up in the middle for Addie Harkins and off the top of the net and lands in for the Cowgirls. 16-7 to Hennis. As Jessa Frosch heads to the serving, heads back to serve for the Cowgirls. Ball's up and over. And a point for the Hennis. 10-point lead for the Cowgirls in set number 2. Frosch. And hits it way out. So point for Tigerettes. 17-8 lead for the Cowgirls. Tony Burrow, Jessa Frosch, Kylie Thompson in the front row, In the back, Peyton Burrow, Addie Harkins, and Tori Johnson in the back for the Cowgirls. Ball's hit over, dug up by Harkins. And a point for the Cowgirls. Tony Burrow serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's hit and over. And into the stands. So 19-7 lead to Hennis. Burrow with the serve. Johnson. Frosch outside to Peyton Burrow. Nice hard kill there. And a point for the Cowgirls. 13-point lead for the Cowgirls here in set number 2. Burrow sends it over. And out of bounds. 21-7 lead for the Cowgirls. Burrow sends it over. Frosch. Johnson. Tony Burrow sends it over, and a point for Hennis. 22-7. Excuse me, 22-8. Tony Burrow serving for the Cowgirls. Ball's hit and over. Serve dug up by Johnson. Frosch sets up Beard outside. Sends it over. Free ball sent over to Johnson. Frosch outside to Burrow. Point for the Tigerettes. And hit way out. Point for the Cowgirls. 23-10 here in set number 2. Cowgirls won set number 1, 25-21. And Kylie Thompson will be serving for the Cowgirls as Maddie Barrios checks in for Tori Johnson. Thompson with the serve. And the libero hits it into the net. So the Cowgirls are 1 point away from winning set number 2 and this ball game, as the tournament play is the best 2 out of 3. Cowgirls won 25-21 and currently lead here in the second set, and they're going to win the ball game 25-10 and the win game number 1. And they'll be back in action at 11 o'clock versus Lakey. So once again, we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors: Primo Processing, Hondo National Bank, Manila Electric Co-op, Triple Row Show Pigs, 90s Taco Store, Our Networks, and Main Street Mercantile. We'll be back at 11 a.m. So till then,